All right, we all ready to give this a try?
Yeah.
Okay, so just to state it for everybody for the record, I have no intention of going through all of this nonsense to try to tell the Doulos story. Doulos must be in person around the table the way God intended, okay? So we'll try some Traveler in the meantime, though, and since Doulos is heavily based on Traveler anyway. So that leaves me with a big question. Are we ready for story time?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
All right. It began as an expedition in search of a spaceship that was probably a myth. A story too good to not pass along, even if maybe you didn't believe the story yourself. It's been 15 years or so now since the story first started going around about a ghost ship that, it's making me lose my spot, about a ghost ship that appears, stays a few days, and then jumps away. And then someone else has a story about seeing it. Oh, and sometimes the story includes the part about the signal. Some strange signal it broadcasts that no one can understand, and usually on unauthorized transmission frequencies. So yeah, it's a fun story, but no one takes it seriously. But the guy who put this expedition together has spent 12 years taking it seriously. He was an old professor named DeBrannon. He managed to talk the board into a small research grant and use of a ship because of a report in his own neighborhood, mainly the Regina subsector out in the Spinward Marches. This report tells of a starship of markedly unorthodox design, which has been drifting in the Yorbund system for 5 weeks now, broadcasting an encrypted signal on a restricted military frequency. A curiosity, no doubt, but not exactly much potential for the next big scientific breakthrough. Also, not exactly much potential for pulse-pounding action. Rumor had it that this expedition was nothing more than a bone thrown to an old man for years of loyal service. All right, so this old Professor DeBrannon threw together a team and set out for the coordinates. And if their credentials were questionable, well, so was the mission. Audrey Zale was our linguist. Also, she had a degree in non-human intelligence. She was hired for both those skills. Daryl Fontaine was our visual documentarian. There might have been better technicians out there, but his skill as a chef was his ticket on this expedition. Lily Kent was our cryptologist. A competent scientist, she was more comfortable with machines than people. Her job was to decipher the signal the mystery ship was broadcasting. But if technology failed, DeBrannon hoped to achieve communication through telepathy. He'd hired a Class 10 scion named John Winderman. And that brings us to now. Making the first sensor contact with the mysterious ship, and long-range scans are coming in now. And oops, I forgot to mention, they brought Lucy on as a linguist. They brought Eric.
Taz.
They brought Taz on as the pilot and engineer. They brought Wesley as a science specialist. And they brought Butterbeard for security. And not necessarily anything that might be on the ship, although that's handy too. It's mainly because this old Professor DeBrannon doesn't trust all these strangers he had to hire to throw together for this mission. Okay? All right. And yes, the name of the ship is the research vessel Miranda Dorlac. By the way, I stole that entire introduction from the old 1987 science fiction flop, Night Flyers. Here is the information that you get on your first scan. All right, everybody, reload the page. It should be there.
Yep.
And yes, there is some corrected information down below the picture.
Mm-hmm.
But it's half event horizon.
Now, yeah, you've got this sensor information back, and so far the ship is not responding to any hails. Okay? And we are going to say at the moment it is not broadcasting its mysterious signal. Okay? So, you guys are get close enough to it to where you can see it. And I'm going to post some pictures here, but what you need to know first is what the text says. There are no lights, with the exception of low-level red showing through the forward lower bank of windows. And there is no sign of life or activity. Now, stand by. There is the ship that you have encountered. And there is no response to hails. You see the description at the top about the lights. There's no signs of life or activity. Oh, by the way, ignore the person that you see. It's just for scale. Now, here's the thing. As I said, this module came out in the 70s, so there's actually tons of fan artwork out there. And this is a collection of different interpretations of this ship. And you can have your own headcanon. But, guys, you've just arrived at this mystery ship. What's anybody notice about it or got to say about it?
They grow their own food.
Yeah, I see a little garden.
In some of the pictures, it almost looks like there's some kind of sail. And the other ones, it look like an enclosure.
Yes, the images that show it as solid, I would ignore that. The scans show that it is a flexible material, like an umbrella that opens. Like the really fancy computer graphics looking one, and where it even kind of looks like an umbrella at the front.
Or like that solar
Doesn't look like
thing in
a
Tron.
weapon, so he could take it.
Wesley just pointed out.
These might be weapons on the...
Wesley
They
just
look like
pointed
turrets on the side.
Wesley just pointed out something interesting. Say it again.
The thing on the front kind of looks like the solar thing from Tron.
The solar sail.
Yeah, the solar sail.
Well,
What was that? The thing on the bottom looks like a...
he says that the thing on the front kind of looks like the solar sail in the movie Tron.
A solar sail?
Yeah, that's where Tron and Flynn go on there to defeat the whatever it was.
DeBrannon says that he wants you tougher guys to get aboard this thing.
Are there hatches that we can...
Hang on, I'm gonna post that as soon as I get this figured out. I'm gonna add it to the bottom of Seeing is Believing. That's what scans indicate might be some entry points for you.
Okay. So, who does he want to board?
The four of you.
The four of us, okay. Well, I can help everybody vac suit, because I'm... Or are we going to dock directly?
You tell me. Look at the... Is there a place to dock? How are you guys going to get in the ship? This is the first step of this story.
We blow a hole.
But we don't have explosives.
I think we should vac suit and try to get in through the port access door. Well, actually, no. Maybe the keel fin airlock. Because that kind of puts us at the very edge of the ship instead of kind of more in the middle.
Do our vac suits have propulsion on them?
I don't know. I don't think so. If we need them to, then sure, we'll say that they do.
Or can our ship dock
How
with
would
it?
you blow a hole and get in?
No.
Let's try to. I think we should try to open the airlock.
The port access door?
Well, now that I think about it more, I think the keel fin airlock, because then we're at the very edge of the ship and we can kind of do a sweep instead of kind of starting in the middle.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So we should vac suit up.
And you want to try to come through the keel fin?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we can, since we've only got a few minutes to get this started, we can say that you guys suited up and got some pats on the head by the other people on board the ship, and you set out to do something that the professor repeatedly tries to assure you that it shouldn't be dangerous. And let's see. There is an iris valve to enter this airlock. And it doesn't say how it would be opened, so, I think it's probably safe to assume that there'd be some sort of keyed entry.
Okay.
Let's see. So, yeah, there's a keypad on the iris.
I have electronics too.
All right, so give me
What?
What?
So you want me to roll?
Yeah, go ahead. Give me an electronics check. 8 or better to succeed.
10.
All right. The iris opens to reveal a small interior chamber, which is obviously an airlock. Yeah, so I assume you guys want to go in the airlock and close the door behind you?
Yeah.
All right. Once the airlock is pressurized, it does allow you to hit the button to open the inner airlock to access the ship. That's right. You're going to have to go up to actually reach the first deck. Oh, no. Actually, the first deck is going to be the bridge deck. So, what I will do is duplicate this page, and then you guys have the Seeing is Believing, and inside Seeing is Believing, you have decks. And I am now adding, oops, I almost did. I am now adding the bridge deck, and that's the deck that you come to first. Now, as far as the inside of the ship, yes, it is dark. There is no lights. There is no gravity. And you notice that the doorways are unusually large. The doors that you guys are passing through, they look ideal for someone a good foot taller than you. And I think it's a ladder that takes you up to the bridge deck. The ladder rungs are spaced further than any other ladder you've ever climbed before. And then, yes, you guys are at the bridge deck. So, somebody read what that says at the top. Anyone.
Bridge deck.
And then what?
Painted on the iris valve at this level is figure 1. The valve opens into a short corridor, which further opens into room 1.
Uh-huh. And you guys saw the name of the ship on the outside of it?
Yeah.
It's down on the thing, too.
Okay, everybody take a look at those pictures again. The outside of the ship. Does anybody see the name on the body of the ship?
Oh,
yeah.
look. So
Yeah,
actually, the left side engine on the outside has 1, The right side engine on the inside has a V.
And then look at the body of the ship itself.
Yeah, it says just the Annic Nova.
Interesting. So you guys have just emerged onto the bridge deck, and we're just going to have to wait to find out what happens next, because that's it. That's 5 o'clock.
All right.
So we have dipped our toe into this. You can see that this ship has multiple decks, and they are all very large. And we will spend at least a couple of sessions exploring this ship, figuring out what it is, where it came from, what you guys could do about it. Not to mention, there's the cryptologist that can begin working on the alien signal. There's the linguist who can try to see if she can make any sense of these things, etc. All right, well, I thank every single one of you. Okay, high fives through the screen. I appreciate every single one of you at the table, and I'm really looking forward to this story. I've read through it multiple times, and there's some very cool stuff in here. All right, reload it. So far as scans can tell... Oh no, don't anybody look. Close your eyes. This was a huge mistake. All right, everybody reload the page. That should be gone. That had spoilerific information on it. I gave you the wrong one.
Read it.
Huh?
Vlad was upset because I scrolled up instead of reading it.
Oh, okay. All right. Sorry about that, guys. I will send the correct one now. The bridge deck. What are you on here?
Did you mean to send the GM map?
What? Are you messing with me?
No, it's right here.
Quick, look at it.
Oh, for crying out loud. No, you guys should not be seeing that. My bad. Wow.
I still see it.
I'm deleting it now. Now
It's gone.
it's deleted.
But there's descriptions
Yeah,
below that
I'm getting
not
rid of
letting
it all.
Vlad read.
I'm getting rid of it all now. I don't know why I thought that just copying the whole page was the way to do things. All
I'm
right.
just scrolling up and down as fast as I can.
All right. Now if you reload the page, it'll all be there.